What's up, guys? Welcome back to Latin Chopsticks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, I'm really excited. Today we're gonna try out something that's been booming here in Orlando. It's a new ramen restaurant that opened. It's been a couple months now. You guys know me. I like to wait until things die down a little bit for me to go and try them, just because I wanna make sure I'm not having it while it's hype and they're putting a lot of attention to like details and like being really meticulous with the food that they're cooking. So I like going there a little bit later once it's, you know, maybe it's been established a little bit more and like maybe it's died down in popularity. With that said, this place is packed. We're in Kyuramen. I'm really excited because based on all the different restaurants that we've been to, the one that's like kind of decorated mostly like how it was when me and my wife went to Japan, besides like the Japanese tapas that we had a couple years back, this is gonna be the closest thing to it. So I'm really excited to try their ramen. I believe Danny's gonna have some omurice and try that out. I've never tried it before. I'm curious on how that is. But enough talking, we are here. Let's go ahead and head inside. Perfect, we are here. I am super excited. We are inside of Kyuramen, and honestly, the place looks absolutely beautiful. They have like a whole bunch of different decorations. Honestly, it really does remind me of some places that we went to in Japan. This place is packed. It was about a 40-minute wait, so I am really excited to get to try out the different ramens that they have. They not only have ramen, but they have a ton of different appetizers as well as omurice, which is gonna be the first time that I'm gonna try it. We didn't get a chance to eat that while we were in Japan, but today is gonna be the first time that we try that and see how it is. But enough talking, I'm gonna take my time, look over the menu, see how everything is, and then I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. So we ended up getting our first item. We ended up getting a combo meal, which is pretty cool. It brings 2 ramen. You get a side of this right here, which is the first thing that came out. This right here is their popcorn chicken. They don't call it chicken karage, which is kind of interesting. It does look a little dark, so I'm thinking it's like thigh meat and dark meat. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this right here is their popcorn chicken. It's way darker than I'm used to. Maybe it's something else. We're about to try it out and see. It is freshly made. It has a little bit, I'm not sure if that's mint. I'm not 100% sure what's on top of it, but we're gonna go ahead and try it out and just see how it is. Another thing I really like is that the chopsticks here are really, really nice. They're not like your typical wooden chopsticks. These are actually like nice chopsticks. Let's go ahead and try this out. All right, guys, check this out. All right, let's try this out. Wow, that's really good. That's really flavorful. I'm gonna take another bite and show you. All right, so the inside is nice and salty, super juicy, 100% dark meat. All right, guys, awesome. So I am gonna try to kind of hurry because everything came out at once. All right, so the first one we're gonna go ahead and just try out real quick just so he can eat. It's gonna be Danny's omurice. He actually got the nicer one, which is the pork tonkatsu omurice. So it's the omurice with the egg on top and then the tonkatsu slathered in like curry sauce. So let's go ahead and check this out. So as you guys saw the presentation, this is beautifully made. And then you have this right here. Amazing pieces of tonkatsu pork. I'm gonna go ahead and I am gonna use this because I don't wanna use his spoon. So let's go ahead and just grab a little edge right here. All right, that was really hard to do with the spoon. All right, let's go ahead and try this out. All right, guys, this is right here. The curry taste, really apparent. Really, really good. It's not overpowering or overwhelming. The seasoning on the rice, you kind of feel the individual grain. It's not your typical fried rice. I would say it's a little bit more mushy. I'm guessing it's just because it's still continued, you know, with having like the egg on top and all that really hot gravy on top. Might have cooked it a little bit more, but it is a little mushy. But it's because it's slathered in sauce. This is honestly delicious, and I would definitely recommend it. I'm probably gonna grab a small piece of his little tonkatsu pork just to try that out, and we'll go ahead and continue. All right, just a close-up of the tonkatsu pork. I'm gonna have the little end piece. It is topped off with a little bit of the curry sauce from the omurice. The inside's nice and white. Let's go ahead and try this out. Guys, I'm really excited. That pork tonkatsu, really, really good. I really like the fact that the panko is like perfectly attached to the skin. It's not coming off like in some other places. The pork on the inside, it's nice and juicy. Not only that, but it's like you could tell they really seasoned it well. It's honestly really flavorful. The curry flavor is really apparent, and it's just, I would highly recommend it. It is, I believe that combo that he got is $23.99 because it comes with the pork tonkatsu, but I think for $19.99 you could just get the actual, just the classic Japanese omurice. Honestly, for $3 more, 100% I would recommend getting the pork. That is delicious. Next thing we're gonna try is a potato fried shrimp. This is really interesting. I wanted to show you guys this. This right here is the potato fried shrimp. So it is potatoes that are fried. I'm sorry, it is shrimp that is fried, but the outside it's layered with like a very thin, like almost spaghetti-like strip of potato. Really excited to try this out and see how it is. All right, guys, here we go. Oh my God. So the inside is the shrimp, but that potato is so freaking good. I don't know if you guys ever had like potato sticks on hot dogs, but that's the like really nice potato flavor that I'm getting. The shrimp inside is nice and well cooked. And honestly, I don't know if that's just dough or pork. Regardless, super flavorful, really delicious. Let's go ahead and finish this. Alright guys, the next thing we're gonna try is the fried gyoza, the pan-fried gyoza. The way they do it here is the way I personally try to do it at home every now and again. It's really delicious. You guys gotta check this out. So these right here are the pan-fried, as I mentioned. The really nice thing about this is you see this layer right here. Unfortunately, it did kind of soggy up a little bit because it's been out for a while. But this is actually, it's usually flour that they go ahead and they put in the pan as it's frying, and it becomes like this crispy shell that you can normally have. Nice and crunchy, just kind of adds an accent to the gyozas themselves. Let's go ahead and try this out. I will say that there's multiple sauces. I want to try them out as it is, and then I'll have some of the sauces, but let's go ahead and just take a bite out of this. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, I lost the crispiness, and it does need some of the sauce because after having like the fried shrimp and things like that, you know, it's kind of overwhelmingly in the salt content compared to everything else. So this is tasting a little bit bland to me, but maybe with the sauce. The sauce slightly makes up for it. I would suggest if you order this, before you have any of the popcorn chicken that they call, or any of the shrimp or anything like that, make sure you eat the gyozas first because they do feel a little bit bland compared to the seasoning of all the fried stuff that we're having. With that said, now we're gonna go ahead and try this bao bun. I really like the way that it's decorated on the outside. And then inside, of course, you have this beautiful pork belly here with some sauce. And it looks like spinach leaves, but I'm not 100%. I'm gonna take a bite and I'll let you guys know what that is. I'm not even gonna try to use the sticks. This is like, honestly, the size of this is pretty big. Let's go ahead and just take one bite. Pork belly's really well seasoned. It's really fatty, mostly probably because I took a bite of the fatty side. The bao bun itself, nice and soft, slightly sweet. You get a little bit of crunch from those leaves and from the spinach in there. I'm not 100% sure if it's spinach. And that sauce, it's slightly sweet as well, so it kind of complements it all together. All right, guys, time for the main dish for me. What we're gonna try here is their curry ramen, and I decided to order, which is a little bit more expensive, the actual tonkatsu instead of Chopsticks pork. Take a look at this. And I decided to order it, which is a little bit more expensive, the Tonkatsu pork. Let's go ahead and check this out. So this right here, I mean, it looks beautiful. You have some green onions. I already tried my wife's because she doesn't like this on her ramen. Amazingly seasoned. I mean, you can see the dark color of that boiled, perfectly soft boiled egg. You have nigiri right here. You have some corn, and then you have the. I'm not 100% sure if this is saffron. I feel like I always get that wrong. But let's go ahead and just look at the freaking noodles down here. I mean, these look delicious. The broth is nice and thick because of the curry flavor. But I mean, this looks really, really good. Let's go ahead and try this out. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Of course, because it's kind of been sitting there for a little bit, unfortunately, the noodles have soaked up a lot of the broth itself, but because the broth is nice and thick, the curry smell coming out of this is really, really, really strong. Let's go ahead and try this out. It's ever so slightly spicy. The curry flavor is just, it's amazing whenever you're able to balance curry flavor like this, because curry in general is really, really strong, and that's why I really like Japanese curry, because they're able to like manage and tame that curry flavor where it actually complements the dish. It is the main star, but it doesn't overpower everything else on there. Broth is nice and thick. The noodles are perfectly cooked. They're nice and springy. Let's go ahead and try a piece of the tonkatsu on here. Top part of the tonkatsu that was like on top of the ramen that's like facing me. Delicious, nice and crispy. The other side's obviously soggy because it's inside the broth. That curry flavor, this is really, really good. I'm gonna try to mix it all up a little bit so I can get a little bit of everything on this bite. Some green onions, some corn. Let's see if we could go ahead and just have a little bit of everything. Let's try it out. This is the first time I'm having curry ramen since I've been in Japan. Wow, it's just really, really good flavor. All right, guys, awesome. We went ahead and we finished everything. One thing I kind of want to touch back upon, I actually was going to add it to the video, but I decided not to. We ordered some fried oysters, and unfortunately, they were really fishy, which is very strange. So we actually, for the first time in a very long time, I ended up, Danny, honestly, it was him. I wasn't going to say anything, but Danny decided to like let them know. So he has a little bit more experience regarding that, and yeah, it was just really, we ended up turning it back. So maybe it was just a one-off. Everything else was really good. The only thing I'd suggest is if you're going to order the gyoza, make sure you have those first prior to anything fried, because they were okay. They weren't like amazing. A little bit light on the meat on the inside, but it was also kind of bland. And honestly, like the top, maybe it was crispy when it first came out. I did kind of leave it sitting there. Honestly, guys, like almost everything came out at once, so it was very difficult. As soon as we got the popcorn chicken that they call it, it was just like one after another as I was trying to film, so I had to constantly stop filming to kind of accept the food, say thank you. But enough talking, we're gonna go ahead and get the dessert. These were included with the combo that we got. As always, you already know that's gonna be included in the price that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video when I first talked about the combo and showed it off. The combo basically brought the 2 ramens, these 2 desserts, as well as the popcorn chicken. That's what the combo entailed. That was for a combo for 2, and there's also a combo for 1. You get 2 bao buns as well as the ramen itself. Keep that in mind. I did show the whole menu in the beginning, so you guys can, go back and kind of freeze frame there. But enough talking, let's check these out. All right, guys, so this right here, this is the matcha pudding. It has some soybeans on the top, or I believe some red beans actually. It has some red beans on the top. It does have a little tiny bit of milk. We're gonna go ahead and pour that in there and mix it up a little bit and try it out. And then right here is, you have a cherry blossom pudding. It's basically sakura, which we did have in the other ramen place. And then they did have like a sakura kind of like simple syrup that you would pour on top. But enough talking, let's go ahead and try these out, see how they are, and then I'm gonna go ahead and share these with them. All right, so first things first, the matcha. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys kind of with one hand how you pour the milk over it, and we'll try it out. So this is the first one we're trying out. We're gonna get a little bit of this. Just pour it right on top. Excellent. It's nice and creamy. So we're gonna go ahead and just dig into it. Ooh. The texture, it feels more like maybe a loose cheesecake than an actual pudding, but let's go ahead and try this out, okay, guys. Really bitter. The milk really helps it. Kind of like turns it a little bit into like a matcha latte almost. And the red bean kind of adds a little needed sweetness. And honestly, it's like pure matcha. Oh my goodness. It's good, but you gotta like matcha. Matcha tends to be really bitter. All right, now we're gonna try this cherry blossom jelly is the actual name. Let's check this out. So it almost looks like a clear drop pudding. We're gonna go ahead and just grab this as well. I'm gonna pour a little bit this time, just kind of try it out and just see how it is. Excellent. We're gonna use the same spoon. Just cut a piece into it. These kind of look like boba balls, clear boba balls. Let's go ahead and try this out. So I'm interested to see how this is. Oh my God, that is really, really good. The best way for me to describe this, especially those little jelly balls on the outside, this literally reminds me of like a little candy I had as a kid, like the Tutti Frutti bubble gum. It's literally that flavor. And it's like a firm jello in texture. That's really good and really refreshing after all the fried food we have and the richness of that ramen. All right, guys, excellent. So here's my honest opinion about this place. This has some amazing ramen. Like, it is really, really, really good. The noodles, everything was cooked to perfection. The appetizers, a lot of them were really good. The shrimp, the potato covered shrimp, really good. The inside actually had like a little bit of like actual potato. So it was potato wrapped in like a thin layer of like spaghetti shaped potato. And it was really, really good. The dumplings, again, maybe eat them as soon as they come out, but in all honesty, I'd probably skip them in my opinion. And then definitely don't get the fried oysters. I mean, it might have been a one-off, but it was just not good. We actually, like I said, we ended up returning them. Everything else was pretty dang good. I think this is definitely a solid place. The experience here, service is great. We actually got a little tiny private booth. This is very Japan. Like when we went to Japan, very small amount of places had this. Usually it was like the more fancier places, at least from where my wife and I went to. It's definitely really, really good, and I would highly suggest it. I don't want to say that it's the best ramen in Orlando, but it's pretty dang close and it's pretty high up there, which is nice to see because a lot of these new places end up getting super hyped up. Everybody's doing videos, everybody's doing reviews on them, and you never really, in my opinion, you can never really trust it all the time because sometimes it's just because it's the new thing, everybody wants to go and everybody wants to show it off. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. It is very good, but some of the things that we got were like all right. They weren't like that great. With that said, I would still recommend it. I would probably come back again just for the ramen. Like, we'll make sure that we just order ramen because it is really, really good ramen. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. With that said, I will see you guys next Sunday, and until then, let's just keep on eating.